Hello, this is the demo for the Solr assignment. We have divided it into two parts. The first will be where we show the web GUI that we use to query the Solr indexes, and we have jotted down some use cases that we will be trying out. Then the second part will be integration of Solr with Apache Sys. We will be describing all the folders that have been constructed and the application that was inbuilt in Apache Sys to show the use cases. So before I go into the uh, GUI, I would show the code once. Well, this is the code from the first assignment, and we have added changes. So as to use the Stanford NER, we are using their 7 class model to extract potential locations, and then we are using a gazetteer that of all the cities, some 15,000 cities that we have been able to extract from geonames.org. We keep these city names, their details in a dictionary that we use in order to check whether the locations extracted are actually locations or not, or whether they are just false hits. So first, just let's just check out the documents that have been indexed. So we have chosen three conspiracies. First one will be UFO, the second is JFK, and the third one is Watergate. We have 300 plus documents that have been indexed. This is the Apache Solar console. Let's just get started with the demonstration. So as in this document, I would go through these use cases one by one. So first one is UFO. I have 109 such documents. Then I have a disk. I get 21 hits. And then saucer. Sorry, that's a spelling mistake. I get 18 hits. Now we'll try out combinations. UFO and disk. We get 15 places. One thing I must mention here is that as it was mentioned in the document that we should be putting an AND statement in the middle, well, we don't exactly need it because we can use an operation. If you can see that I'm using an AND operation. So what Solr does is that it does an AND operation on all the query terms that we are sending. So hence I don't need to explicitly mention that the terms have to be ANDed. So let's just try out the final combination. We get 11 places. One thing I must mention is that if two documents are actually indexed to the same location, well, the marker actually points to the same place. So it's hard to distinguish whether there are two items. A heat map, on the other hand, will be better in representing them. So if I just mouse over on it, it actually shows me the document for which this marker is. So let's just next try out uh, the JFK conspiracy. I would go through all the keywords once again. For JFK, I find 51 places. For Kennedy, I find 124 places, and for assassination, I find 64 places. So we'll try out combinations with them. Assassination JFK, we have 8 places. Assassination JFK and Kennedy, we have 7 places. And we can try JFK and assassinations, we get 8 places. And finally, we try out the Watergate conspiracy. First one is Nixon. We have 81 places. Then we have tapes, for which we get 63 places. And then we have Watergate, for which we get 15. Let's just try out the combination. 9 places. Nixon tapes, Watergate, we have 4 places. So that was the first part of the demonstration where we have shown how we are first we have used our code to index all the documents, first extract the documents, index all the documents, and then we have made a simple GUI to get all the documents depending on a query, and then display it on a Google Maps. And then we move on to the second part of the assignment, which would be showing the integration of Apache Sys and Apache Solr. So before moving into that, let's just see the sys location config XML. Here we give the URL from where sys is supposed to extract all the geolocations. So if you can see that we have used something called an XSLT writer rather than a GORSS writer that was mentioned in the initial document. So the reason for doing that is that if you check out the Solr wiki, there is something called the XSLT response writer, which actually requires a schema file to model the output. So we have made a schema file which actually makes outputs the results in the same way that is intended. So hence we do not need to rewrite a writer from the scratch. And if I would show you, then this is the result of uh, that response writer. As you can see, it has all the same fields: a latitude and longitude, publication date, link, and title. So we actually didn't need to write a response writer from scratch, and we exploited the one that was already there. So I I think that I we should, maybe Apache guys can actually add such a schema file, and they wouldn't need to a write a response writer from scratch. So we'll start with the demo. This is the demo that was already included in the Apache sys, uh, and we would try out the combinations. I've already tried it once, so the latitude and the longitude values are already here. So for this set of values, I get like 44 results. I click on it, and it actually shows me the document name, the link, the publication date, and the latitude and the longitude. We'll just try out the another point radius one, say 1,000. Well, we get no documents because actually I'm in Antarctica or something. So let's just try out 50 minus 100. Well, we get two results. It's somewhere in Canada, and we would increase the radius, and here we go. We get many more results. So this is the integration of Apache sys and Solr. As you can see that we have been able to integrate it successfully. If you see the folder in which my Apache sys is hosted, you would see that there are two folders in here: the geodata and the Q-tree. These are actually required for sys. This is actually constructed by sys when once it gets the data from Solr. So that's it. The variations, the combinations of code for geotagging, and all the variations that we had tried out are in the report document. And this is it. Thank you so much.